Hello, everybody, and welcome to the spring 2023 version of British Literature 2. So, I am Mr. Smith, and I am going to be your tour guide as we go on this journey from the Romantic era, starting around 1795, all the way up to modern day with authors that are still living. So, that's kind of exciting, I think. Um, so, some of you last week did the preview and you looked at the syllabus and you took the quiz and you did your introductory discussion. And I will look at those soon if I haven't already. And if you haven't, it's not too late, right? This is officially the first week of school. So you've got the rest of this week to get all of that done. What I do want to caution you about is make sure that you do go into the Start Here module and you take that syllabus quiz and you go ahead and do that introductory discussion as soon as possible, because next week at some point I'm going to have to report to Albany State University who hasn't done those two things. And if you're one of the people I report, you will be withdrawn from the course by the registrar. And there's nothing much we can do about that. So be sure to do those two things. In addition to that, we got the week one work. So what we're doing here in week one is we're looking at British history prior to 1795. And there's a good reason for that, because some of the first authors that we read, such as William Wordsworth and such as the French Revolution authors like Edmund Burke and Thomas Paine and Mary Wollstonecraft, are going to reference things from Britain's past, such as, for example, the Magna Carta and the Declaration of Right, two documents upon which British law to this day is based upon, just like the American Constitution is what our laws are based on. So um, I want you to get a feel for what came before the Romantics. Also, bear in mind that when we get to say like William Wordsworth, the Romantics were reacting against something known as the Age of Reason or the Age of Enlightenment. These were authors like Alexander Pope and Jonathan Swift, among others. And what the Romantics said is that we disagree with these folks, and here's our philosophy. And we'll take a look at that in week two when we read William Wordsworth's preface to Lyrical Ballads. So be sure to take that quiz. It will be open book. In fact, every quiz this semester will be open book. You can have your reading in one window, and you can have the quiz in the other window, and you can mark off the answers as you read. I also want you to bear in mind that this week there's not a reading per se. There is a slideshow that has the highlights that I want you to recognize as you take this quiz. And you can use Google to help you answer some of those questions. In fact, you're going to need to use Google if you're not familiar with British literature. I won't allow you to use Google very often, but this week is going to be kind of necessary. So the slideshow and your Google search engine will help you get 100 on the pre-1800 British literature quiz, which is located in the week one folder. So finally, one thing I want to emphasize as you look through that syllabus is take a look at my late work policy. I have learned that a lot of students will want to wait until April, start doing work that was due in January, February. If you try that in this class, you're going to fail this class, because I do enforce my late penalties. 3 weeks later, an automatic F, and I don't grade discussions that are more than a week late. The purpose behind all of that enforcement is to get you to sign in a minimum of twice a week and to get you to stay caught up on the work. I understand that things in life happen. If things in life happen, I will work with you. But if you report to me in week 8 that you had a problem with getting the week 6 work done, I say, okay, I won't penalize you. Don't wait until week 14 to go ahead and do that week 6 work that I told you was okay in the 8th week, because then 3 more weeks have passed. So you'll be less stressed out if you stay caught up, and I will be less stressed out by enforcing these penalties, because I won't have to read a whole bunch of stuff that I should have already read. And your grade will be better, because when you're only doing the work as it's due, the quality of work you turn in will be much better than if you try and turn in 6 assignments in about a 3-day time period. So with that in mind, I welcome you to the class. I look forward to guiding you on this journey from the Romantic era into today. And if you have any questions, feel free to email them to me.